All right, let's go. So I'm driving the Leap Motor C10. Okay, and the car is comfortable, is electric, it's not necessarily fast. It's
Sorry, I didn't understand. Please put it in another way.
cancel.
Sorry, this function is not supported yet.
No.
Please operate it manually.
Yep. Okay.
I'll quit and you can call me if you need me.
Please. Okay. Stop talking. All right. So there's nothing in this car that strikes me massively. As in, there are so many cars out there now, and there are so many brands, and so I was just thinking about. Yeah, I think I concluded the video yesterday. I said, hey, if you guys want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. I mean, this car offends nothing. It is very spacious. It is comfortable, right? And it's not particularly fast. It's not particularly crazy impressive in filtering out all the road conditions and whatnot. But it has everything. It has adaptive cruise control and all that. But of course, it also falls into that over-naggy modern car thing, you know, like how Mercedes-Benz tells me, caution, sharp curve ahead. When I'm in sports, when I'm in track mode, not in an EV, mind you, in a GLA 45, in track mode, and the car would think that it's logical that I'm in track mode and the car, together with the GPS, decided to tell me, be careful of the sharp curve ahead. And I was going up Genting Highlands, and the car kept telling me, caution, sharp curve ahead, caution, sharp curve ahead. I think this is just over the board, and the intention was good, but they did not fine-tune the rest. So this one sort of falls into that as well. As of now, I couldn't find a way to ask the blind spot warning to shut up. All right, it has the blind spot lights. I don't mind if it lights up to let me know that there are cars behind me, but to have it light up and an audio warning is a bit annoying. Now, I have cars like others where they have all these safety features, but whatever you turn off, it remains off. All right, this one resets. It resets. You see, now here's the speed warning. Warning me that this road is 30 km/h. I'm now at 36. So it keeps warning me till you have the dung 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 dung, and then you have the blind spot lane and all that. And every time you hop in, you need to turn it off. So, but fundamentally, is the car worth buying? 150,000 for an EV that has a rated range of 400 plus? Should be all right. But then I did not drive more than 100 km yesterday, but now it's down to 230. Okay, so I also noticed that certain EVs, their claim range, what is stated here, versus what you do and what you come back to, aren't as accurate, shall I say, as some. The Volvo EX30 the other day was really accurate. The other car that I noticed and I remember was the Taycan, and I think the Tesla as well. Pretty accurate in terms of what it tells you it can do, and you do it, and then it doesn't go too far away. Far meaning, not too far meaning, for me, for EVs, anywhere from 20 to 50 km difference, I'm fine, all right? But so far, yeah, this is definitely more than that, okay, in terms of power management. So what I want to say in this video is I was just looking back or digesting my own conclusion that, hey, this car, you know, interior is well fitted, it's soft. I mean, there's nothing really striking about this car. you know, in terms of acceleration, in terms of what is middle of the ground and does everything acceptable. I would say acceptable. It's comfy. It's meant to be a comfy car. Even though the marketing messages tells you that, oh, the chassis is tuned by Maserati, the chassis is not bad. It's not bad. Steering is soft and light like any other Chinese cars. And it's spacious, it has all the necessary stuff, so you can buy. But is this car memorable? Just like the Xpeng G6. Xpeng has a lot of great cars. The G6 is somewhat like this, right? The interior, I can take a picture of this, cover the logo, the G6, more or less the same. Most of them are like that. So is there anything particularly striking? So far, none. It's spacious, it's not expensive, it's good looking. The car is good looking. Clean design, very much like a smaller squared off Cayenne. And if you park this next to the X70, I know that's not an EV, this will look like, you know, more futuristic. You park this next to the Ermas, this somehow looks more premium, a little bit. Not next to the J7. The J7 looks proper, good looking. So this video, I want to think back any cars that I have tested over the past couple of months that has something that punches above the rest. Okay, I'll say the few that I can remember. Maybe I will miss out some. Okay, anyway, the EX30 handles extremely well, handling wise, sharp driving and handling. I don't think there is any other EV around this price point that handles as sharp as that. No, the Model 3 quite sharp. But the Model 3 is a sedan that handles decent. But the EX30 is genuinely sporty setup. The suspension, the drive, is a very nice to drive car. Very nice to drive car. Steering a little bit light, but all in all, it's a very nice to drive car. EX30. The range is also pretty accurate. Suspension is very comfortable. Okay, that one. The Imea surprised me by the sheer size of the car and the fact that when I drive, I mean, I know the brand says Lotus. In no way the Imea or the Electra can handle like any other Lotus, but it is also the type of Lotus that it's not easy for even a giant company like Hyundai would be able to do. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. They did not went to that direction. All right. But basically, the Imea handles brilliantly. All right. Power delivery is awesome. It handles brilliantly, and the car gives you the sensation of it rotating around you. All right. And a lot of other things, I felt the Imea is more advanced than the Electra. And what's surprising is that that car is lower, but visually it looks really low until you park the car next to an Electra. It's only lower by this much. I'm not joking. The Imea, in terms of the roof, the height of the roof versus the Electra, at best is this, the height differences. So the Imea inside is actually just as spacious as the Electra. I was also surprised by that. It is just as spacious. And suspension, ride height, everything is well done, well done. The only thing that I felt that car, little bit of fine tuning would be when you engage traffic jam assist, the stopping and going could have been smoother. Within their same group, there is a really smooth one, Ziker. All right, Ziker. That one impresses me a lot. That one really stood out in terms of software. Like this car, right? This Leapmotor software, right? I do not know why, but halfway you're operating it, the screen will do this. As in all the graphics all the, wow, this is annoying. This thing saw me not looking, and then it will do a countdown timer for me to press OK. It's like, anyway, the screen would do this. You know how when you use Macintosh, right? You put your forefinger, you pull up the mouse pad, and then everything that you're doing sort of zooms out, right? This car, the screen, while you're working on it, will do that sometimes. You are halfway pressing, right? Then the whole screen just went. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So these are all the little software stuffs that eventually they need to figure out the bugs and all that. All right. So see this one, the steering is too light. So when you are doing a hard turn, it pushes down, and then but because the steering doesn't load up, you sort of have to correct your line, your line of tracking. You have to correct it. Okay, so the Emeya also stood out. The Ziker also stood out. The Ziker X stood out by means of the build quality of that car, the interior build quality, and when compared to the others like the Volvo EX30, the sibling cars, right? The Mini Aceman, the Smart Brabus and all that, all those are premium brands, so they all are priced like 200-ish, whereas the Ziker comes in at 150, which is the same price as this guy here. Now, if you are a family man, when you compare the Ziker X and you compare the C10, the Leapmotor C10, right? Definitely you will be more inclined to buy this one because this is a larger car. This is more practical. This is an SUV. It's a larger car than the Ziker X. The Ziker X from photos look like a small tiny hatchback. Until you walk up to the car, it's actually almost HRV size, but it is still one size smaller than this car. No way the space can be compared. But the interior build of that versus this, that one is more appealing, shall I say. That one just attracts you to you're like wow, this is some fancy interior, the Ziker X. Okay, looks good. That car looks good. Value proposition when compared to its sibling cars and premium cars, but when compared to this seems like more value, isn't it? Right? But software stability and all that, I think Ziker does a better job. Graphics and all that are impressive, mighty impressive. Yeah. What else? Sea Lion is impressive in the way that design doesn't appeal to me. It looks like an AI design car, to be honest. If I ask AI to generate a modern electric car parking by the side of the road, right, 90% of the chance it will end up looking like a Sea Lion, right? That car just looks so AI generated. There is no specific design theme to it, shall I say, but it falls in line with all the Yang Wang, their other range of models. Seal looks good. Seal proportion wise and all that looks good. Anyway, but I would say the Sea Lion belong to the good looking car group. Right? If you have a spectrum of ugly cars, good-looking cars, I think the Sea Lion belongs here, just it's not my personal taste. That car impresses me by means of its execution. That means everything together, you can't find a fault. The way it drives, the way it rides, the way you control everything, you play with the screen and all that, right? You cannot find, haha, I caught you here. You should have, I couldn't find one. Probably maybe the China, what do you call that? Where do I go? Oh, okay, the roads have changed. I forgot. The China-derived info. What the heck? Why both sides say Jalan Marof? Apa ni? Anyway, probably the sat-nav maps can't find you as many things as Google does. Probably that only. Other than that, I really oops. Come on. Thank you so much, Mr. Mercedes-Benz. You are a kind person. I want to say thank you, but I couldn't find the hazard lights. illegal hazard lights should be immediately accessible. And where are the hazard lights? Bugger, here. Okay, too late to suddenly. Now if I put hazard lights, because that guy is a very attentive driver, if I suddenly put hazard light, he would thought something has gone wrong with my car. Yeah, I like attentive drivers. Why is there 2 lanes to... Oh, both are the same? Okay. Anyway. Where was I? The J7. This one I really want to talk about this car. I keep talking about this car because I, like every other people, thought it's just a plug-in hybrid. It's just a plug-in hybrid. I thought that way as well, and I thought I'm feeling a bit smug about it because I have owned 2 plug-in hybrids, even though both are the same XC90, and I've driven so many of them: BMWs, Porsches, Mercedes Benzes, and all that. Usually, plug-in hybrids are expensive cars, and I thought, yeah, who would want a plug-in hybrid for 150,000 ringgit? Hi Fazli. Bro. Hey, don't worry. I've spoken to Dave, and he got every information already.
Okay.
Alright? So don't worry. I'm driving now, sorry. I already called Dave and tell him about it.
Oh, okay.
Alright? I call you back later when I stop driving. Alright?
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Anyway, the J7. So I thought people who buy this segment, they want just an ICE and then just go on with their day, right? Why would they want a plug-in hybrid? And then when JCU launched the car in Sentul, I went there for a short test drive and I returned the car. And I tell you, every single salesman selling JCU J7 PHEV, right? A 2-hour test drive doesn't even do justification on that car. Your test drive on that car must be a car with depleted battery, meaning left 20%, because the car will control it to not drop below 20%, right? Or your test drive car must be 20%. And then you bring your customer to Malacca or to Ipoh for a lunch, and then you come back. It has to at least be like that to show people how impressive the technology is. Because if it is a half an hour test drive, what can people test? They got up the car, they whack the throttle, they feel the torque steer, and then they don't buy it. That's all they get. They saw the news, they saw the frontline figures, 347 horsepower, 525 Newton meters of torque. Wow! Maybe there are someone who has never driven a car with 300 horsepower, but also maybe there are someone who has driven a car with 300 horsepower, right? And that car, when you accelerate the car, it doesn't feel like 300 horsepower because it goes on a more linear acceleration path. That car surprises me in what way? When my staff pick up the car from JCU, hand it over to me, I saw 20% battery, and I almost screwed him. I was like, why didn't you charge the car first before you let me test drive? Right? Because when I drove at Sentul, my mind is, plug-in hybrid must be powerful. I whacked the throttle corner a bit. Okay, the chassis is all right. Steering is very light. And then nothing much. Right? And then I returned the car, like 5-6 minutes. And when I got the test car, I'm also in that impression. But I drove to Puncak Alam. My friend was there. I was supposed to have lunch with him. And he is also a plug-in hybrid owner. He has a 3 Series, he has a XC90. And I went to him. When I arrived there, from my house to Puncak Alam, it's actually pretty far. When I arrived there, the battery is 22%. And that shocked me. 22%. And the fuel consumption is 2.7 liters per 100 km. The fuel consumption is 2.7 liters per 100 km. I was shocked. And then I don't understand. And then I passed the car and let my friend drive for a day, overnight. The next day when I went back and picked up the car, he was telling me, bro, this hybrid is magic. The battery never dropped below 20%. I heard the same thing as well from GCMA Autobus. The battery never dropped below 20% and fuel consumption did not go up. For those who don't know, for those of us who own plug-in hybrid cars, we are damn scared of the battery running zero. They will run to zero. BMW, Volvo and all that, right? When they run to zero, your fuel consumption, shoot through the roof, especially BMW with the 3-liter engine. When the battery power is down, it consumes way more fuel than if you were to just buy a normal 3-liter. But this one from China, the JCU J7, doesn't. Magically. So the next day when I pick up the car, I whack the throttle, whack, go 180 and all that, whack. And I look at the consumption, it went up to 3.3. What? 3.3. And I continue whacking for the next 2 days. It went up to 4.6, 4.7. Mind you, before I reached Puncak Alam, there was a good stretch where the car is doing 1.9 liters per 100 km. That shocked me. That is how good they are with their plug-in hybrid system. It is more advanced than any plug-in hybrid system that I have driven in terms of its sole objective to save fuel, right? To save fuel in the smartest way. And mind you, for the 5 days that I had that car, I never charged the car. I did not charge it. I'm on a challenge to see who died first, you know. I did not charge that car. And keep on whacking it. Max, it went up to 4 point something liters per 100 km. It's crazy. So that car is mighty impressive, but on paper, on surface level, people would not know about it. And test drive sessions cannot be 1-2 hours even. It has to be a full day drive to show your clients how impressive that car is. All right? Before I continue, what other cars left a long-lasting impression on me, on certain aspects of them? I need to go meeting now. All right? Still have to cari makan. Hey, I do this kind of video, I don't get money one, okay? All right? Cheers. Why? There we go. Sorry, just finished my meeting. Let me reverse the car first. Reverse. There we go. It's a good thing the car isn't too big. That's a good thing. Alright. Oh, what's my aircon? Why did it not turn on? Okay. Oh, fuck me. That was scary. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll continue the video later. Alrighty. Yeah, just to continue my topic of what other cars I've tested recently that pretty much shines. What else? Why don't I say one that's supposed to shine but didn't actually manage to, which is the Q8 e-tron. And now, some of you may know it, I'm an Audi fan, okay? I'm an Audi fan. And yeah, I drove the Q8 e-tron. Yeah, it's electric. And their strategy is to have the car look exactly like any other Audis, just that the engine is a motor instead of an engine, right? It's an electric motor. And nothing much shines from that car in terms of interface, in terms of the screens. And that was a wake-up call, actually. Not for a wake-up call for them, which I sort of felt it, because as a premium car, you're supposed to be better than the normal ones at every single thing. And nothing much shines through that car. When I compared it to a BYD Sea Lion, the BYDs are just as quiet, are just as nice to drive. All of them are heavy anyway. And it's actually a scary thing to think that how would people justify buying premium cars next time, you know? Now, the Q8 e-tron that I drove is a, slant back, coupe profile, but I sort of think the standard SUV profile looks nicer. And if it were at 300 something thousand, probably it's all right. But I have to say, it's not like in petrol combustion cars, right? You buy one at 180,000 versus you buy one at 400,000. The differences are huge, right? The 400,000 one will be faster, quieter, better handling, better specs, better everything. But in the EV world, especially with Chinese EVs, I don't feel much, However, the i5, the BMW i5, as much as I hate how the car looks, it is ugly in my opinion. That car is hideous, absolutely hideous, but exceptional comfort. Like, the comfort levels of that i5, right, is so noticeable compared to those other cars that are considered comfortable, like this one or the Sea Lion and things like that, right? That i5 is phenomenal. In fact, because I last year end, I drove the Rolls-Royce Spectre, the electric Rolls-Royce. I drove it in France, and I tell you what, the i5 or the i7 does not lose out to the Rolls-Royce Spectre when it comes to comfort. They don't lose out at all, any bit. They are comparable. That is how good those two cars are. Both in my eyes are ugly. The i5 is uglier than the i7. The screen is ridiculous. Is bad. The screen is bad. All right, and in terms of usage, but the handling is amazing. The comfort is amazing. So that is very significant for that two cars. So if you bought an i5 and i7, do differentiate, right? When I say it's ugly, it's a personal opinion. Yeah, when I say it's comfortable, it's a fact. It is not an opinion. That part of it is amazing. It's extremely comfortable, quiet, handles well, huge, ginormous, impossible to park, but wonderful to sit in. Amazing. What other cars that I've driven? Now I suddenly couldn't come up with their names. Or anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna drive more cars, and of course my personal favorite is the Lotus Electra. Half of it is how it looks, how its interior is designed and built, but when it comes to comfort, the i5 will beat that. Seat comfort, this will beat that, even though that is a very good looking seat, but it's pretty hard. And those are facts, not personal opinions. All right. But I love that car. I love how it drives. I think the Emeya drives better than the Electra. And the Electra, in terms of suspension, is air suspension. It would be nicer if, when in sports mode, it has a harder suspension when it comes to compression. That means when you're in sports mode, right, when you go over an undulation or a bump, right, it should resist the compression more than what it is doing now. Now it is still a bit too much when you go up, and then when you come down, it's a bit too much. Ought to have more of that resistance. Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking for parking. Speaking of parking, not easy to get one, but let's roll around. All right, I think I'll end the video here because I'm not going to be paying attention or having the brain power to process and talk. All right, see you guys.